Well, ladies and gents, we got new spirits, so that means it's time to talk about them. Let's get into it. First up is Spirit of Servamini. It's the new light spirit. It's got a 10 affinity cost, and its effect reads at the start of the game, after mulligans, you may search your deck for a gear with cost 1 and add it to your hand. And then its Soul Burst is equip target gear from your discard zone to target unit you control. So the first effect is like Ariana's. After you draw a mulligan, you get to add something from your deck to your hand for a +1. That's always a good thing with Liam, if Liam is your champion. Right now, we don't have a whole lot of gears that are good, that are cost 1 or less. Your options are pretty much standard Shard Sword, and then Ketsu. So I think Ketsu is probably your choice. Some decks run 1 Ketsu, just because it's nice to have that gear in the discard zone, because it re-equips whenever a unit attacks. So that's nice, and there are some cards in Ascension that benefit from being equipped with gears. So that is definitely a decent gear to grab at the beginning of the game with this card. And then the Soul Burst ability, which is basically a Khorne War Room for free, is very good. Khorne War Room is a fantastic card. So I like this spirit. I think it's definitely a cool alternative to Sola and Buckeye for sure. Now we're looking at Spirit of Stygra. It is the new air spirit. It's got 10 affinity as well. And it says, at the start of the game, after mulligans, you may search your shard deck for a shard, shuffle your shard deck, then place it on top. And then its Soul Burst is recover a shard. So I actually think this is the weakest spirit. I think most of the community feels this way as well. And not that this is bad, it's just Kite is so good that it really overshadows this card. This is the only card that we have in the game right now that does anything with your shard deck, so that's kind of neat. You can definitely put a Corona Shard on the top of your shard deck to have that handy at the very beginning of the game. And the way that Ascension is panning out, you're really going to have to be careful on when you Soul Burst or use your Corona Shard. Just from the Omega units that we've seen, like, man, you gotta be careful. Stygra does have that benefit of being able to guarantee you're going to see the Corona Shard early. It's Soul Burst, recovering a shard plays into the air strategy, which is nice. We're seeing more and more cards have those effects that if you've played more than 2 cards this turn, they get additional effects. So that does play into it. It's definitely not a bad Soul Burst ability, and its effect is very unique and cool. It's just, like I said, it's kind of overshadowed by Kite. So I don't know when this would be played over Kite, to be honest. So the new blue spirit is Spirit of Autirius. It's got a 12 affinity, and he is super cute. And his abilities are Exhaust, pay 2, target unit you control gains unblockable this turn. So this is a new ability that we've seen introduced in Ascension. And then you can Soul Burst it, and target unit gains unblockable, which, as it says on the card there, means that Guardian can't be used on that card when it attacks. So it's a pretty powerful ability, and we've seen it on a couple cards already, but now you have it in spirit form. One thing to mention is you can Exhaust, pay 2, and Soul Burst in the same turn. The card doesn't need to be active. Also, if you were to Exhaust and Soul Burst, and then flip this back over with something like Eccentric Visitor, Autirius comes back, flipped over, he flips back over in the active position, so you could exhaust him again if you wanted to. So technically you could do it 3 times, if you had a visitor or whatever. I like this guy. I think the 12 affinity opens up a lot of possibilities for sure. Enhances your deck building capabilities, which is fantastic. I'm loving almost everything that they're doing in Ascension. Actually, everything. I'm loving everything. I don't know why I said almost. I'm loving everything. And I think Spirit of Autirius is definitely a nice spirit addition to the blue. The only downside to him being blue is he's got to compete with Fizzy, who I think is still a good spirit, and Tux as well, who has that powerful stun ability. But yeah, you got another option here with more blue cards that you can splash in your deck. So the new fire spirit is Spirit of Ursatovus. It's a 12 affinity spirit, just like the Otter. And its effects read Exhaust, pay 2, target unit gets plus 1,000 this turn, and if its cost is 4 or more, it gains Destroyer this turn. And then its Soul Burst is all units you control get plus 1,000 this turn. So, man, this card's amazing. This is by far the best spirit in my opinion, hands down. It has so much support for it alone in Ruka. Ruka is now amazing. I was waiting so long for that card to be good, and it finally is. This card makes Ruka a 2,500 brawler for 2, while also boosting everything else by 1,000 that's already on the field. Dragons are so scary now. They are so scary. The biggest problem with dragons was they were a bunch of weenies, and if you put any decent-sized guardian on the field, you kind of stalled them out, right? Now dragons are an extremely low-curve aggro deck that has all of its power built in its spirit and has a 2-cost unit that can flip its spirit back up simply by being played and attacking a unit. It's nuts. That is nuts. This card is crazy. It's also good in Splash. It's a Splash red. In Aragon, I think it's really nice. It's even decent in Hoenna. The 2 cards that come to mind to really take advantage of that first effect to gain Destroyer, because I think that's where the value is. Getting the 1,000 is, whatever, it's okay. But giving anything Destroyer is great. So Aragon utilizes Gigeth very well, being able to activate Gigeth on instant speed on your opponent's turn, and then giving it Destroyer for 2 is pretty great. And then also Leu benefits from this card as well. Being able to cheat out Leo early is very nice as well. So really excited about this card. I think this card is going to make a big splash at Dallas for sure. And the last spirit we're looking at is the new Dark Spirit, Spirit of Serpio, 12 affinity like the other 2 we just looked at. And its 2 abilities are Exhaust, Sacrifice a unit, and then Soul Burst, all units get minus 1,000 this turn. When people first looked at this, I think they thought it was bad, but I'm pretty sure they've since come around to realize that it's a pretty darn good card. The Soul Burst is really good. I know a lot of people hate Repro-Bloom, and this alone gets rid of Repro-Bloom and its tokens, especially if none of them are equipped with a gear. So there you go. All you Repro-Bloom haters rejoice. But its Exhaust ability is actually really good too. It can be used offensively if you're trying to destroy units that have some kind of ruined ability, like Rowena Immortal Princess or any of the mecha units, things of that nature. It can also be used defensively as well, to get a monster off the board that's going to trigger really big effect, or being able to have your opponent attack it with Ruka and flip their spirit back over or something like that. So it can be used defensively as well. A lot of applications for this card. I think it's only going to get better in the future as well, where more powerful ruined abilities come out and your opponent really doesn't want to destroy those cards. So look out for this card in the future for sure. I know in Hartford there's a top 32 promo that's really good, and it's a 1 cost. So yeah, you're gonna see this card be played a lot, if not now, definitely in the future. So yeah, those are the 5 spirits, guys. I love these spirits. They're fantastic. I like the fact that we have more ranges of affinities to play with. Bigger splashes, which is really nice, and the effects are fantastic. They add a whole new dimension to deck building. We have 2 weeks until Dallas, and I've been joking around on the Discord that I think I know what I'm going to play for Dallas, and then literally a new day of spoilers comes out, and I changed my mind again. And it happened today because I'm recording this video the day that the spirits got spoiled. So man, it's been so much fun. And I think we only got 1 or 2 days left of spoilers, so I'm pretty darn excited to see what's left. But let me know what you guys think. What's your favorite spirit? What do you guys think? It's gonna be nuts. I'm so excited about this set. I can't wait for it. Everything that they've shown has been amazing. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Zeppelin out.